Hi, and thanks for checking out my channel. My name is Hannah, and this is Jar of Fireflies. Here you'll find content all about my life as an Orthodox Jewish homeschooling mother of 3. And today, I'm answering your questions. Okay, folks, today I'm going to be answering a lot of common questions that I get. So just sort of a general Q&A video. Now, you didn't miss a questions post. I didn't do that. However, I would love to do a follow-up video to this one where you guys ask me anything and I answer. So leave those, please, in the comments below. Any questions that you've been wondering or you'd like to ask me, and I'll answer them on an upcoming video. So these are really common questions that I get in comments to my videos, in private messages on Instagram, or just from people that I meet in daily life. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Okay, one question that comes up on my videos fairly often are, what are my children's names? I have never said what my children's names are, and I'm not gonna change that now. I really want to respect my children's privacy, and while they do make occasional kind of, I guess, more subtle appearances in my videos, they're never a main feature of the videos, and that is because I want to respect their privacy. My kids are very young. They are 2, 5, and 7, and they certainly cannot make decisions on their social media presence. I don't want to make those decisions for them. I want to leave that up to them when they're older and can make a more responsible decision. That said, my kids love being in these videos. They wish they could be the main character in all of them. My son desperately wants his own YouTube channel. He wants to do a cooking show. I tell him no. However, we do practice filming him making cooking videos, and we just share those with the family. But back to their names. No, I'm not going to be saying their names in the videos anytime soon, if ever at all. But they do have names, and I don't always call them buddy and hey you and whatever else I call them when I'm filming. Next question that I get a lot is, will I ever do a video with my husband? I don't totally know the answer to this question. It's possible. It's definitely not out of the realm of possibility. I've talked to him about this before, and just to kind of throw it out there, see what his thoughts were when y'all started asking this question. And he's not completely opposed to the idea, but he does work a lot. So finding time for the two of us to make a video together would be really, really hard. Plus, we'd probably have to get like a babysitter, which is super hard to do during the pandemic. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be hard, but it's possible. I could see us maybe doing a cooking video at some point because he's an amazing cook, but we will see. So also, English is like his 4th language. So for him to answer questions and things in English, it's and the added pressure of the camera, he's just not super comfortable with that right now. His English is really, really good. He has incredible English, but being his 4th language, it's just not as easy as it is to say you or I, assuming that you are a native English speaker. Okay, so another question that I've been getting a lot lately, because we are doing our big home remodel, is this our forever home? Not this that I'm sitting in right now, because we are in the rental while we are remodeling, doing the major remodel work on our house, but yeah, our actual house. Okay, I don't know. That's another one that I'm not totally certain on. We have been there for a long time. I have been living there longer than anywhere that I have ever lived outside of a childhood home. So I'm used to it. I'm very comfortable there. I do like it. We're fixing it up, so I'm gonna love it when I go back in. The location you really can't beat for us. Like, we love the location where we're at, but I could definitely see us selling that house and buying a new house, fixing it up, flipping it, buying another house, you know, that kind of a deal. And maybe just starting to live somewhere for a couple years at a time while we're fixing up a house, and then move on to the next one. I don't know though. It's not for sure. We also might move to Israel. We have this discussion every so often. It's been coming up more often lately. Don't worry, I'm not moving to Israel yet. There are no solid plans, but it's just, you know, that's always a possibility on the table too. So is it our forever home? Most likely no, but you never know. Like, we don't have any plans to move right now, basically. Okay, another question is, do I plan to have more children? Okay. Can I give another maybe answer? I feel like I'm giving so many maybe answers. I should have done like a soft one. I need like a, you know, a softball question here. Okay, so I have been pregnant 6 times. I have 3 children. I'm kind of done. I feel like I'm just kind of done. Miscarriages are really, really hard. you know, and I kind of feel I'm almost 40 years old now. You know, the last pregnancy we had ended in a miscarriage, and I'm just feeling kind of done. So that's the more kids question. Do I wear makeup, and is that a religious thing? Okay, I don't normally wear makeup. I am wearing makeup right now. I did put on makeup for this video because why not? I ended up buying some makeup recently. I hadn't worn makeup in years, but I just kind of felt like, hey, that would be fun, so I went for it. Like, it's just like some Bare Minerals powder stuff, so pretty light, easy stuff. But anyways, normally, no, I'm normally not wearing any makeup in the videos. I'm very comfortable with the way that I look. I'm very comfortable with my skin, but no, makeup is definitely not a religious thing. Most of the Jews I know do wear makeup. The only place where makeup really comes into religion for us is we are not allowed to take off makeup on Shabbat or apply it. And this has to do with painting and erasing, something about creative work. I can look up the exact details on that if you would like to know, but I just know that you can't put it on Shabbat and you can't take it off. So I definitely don't wear it on Shabbat. But yeah, in general, no makeup for me, but today I am, and I kind of like it. It's kind of fun. Do I find it a challenge to dress modestly? This is a question that pops up a lot in my daily life. I haven't heard it so much from you guys, but I know that people I meet all the time are asking me this question. The answer is yes. Yes, I do find it a challenge to dress modestly. Not all the time, but definitely some of the time, enough of the time, a lot of the time. When I'm trying to find something to wear to a fancy occasion, it can be really hard to find a reasonably priced, modest gown or whatever ensemble that I would like to wear. It's easy to find very, very expensive ones. If you've got like $2,000, you can get a great modest dress, but I don't have that. Sometimes if I'm going somewhere where I know that I will look out of place, I find it to be a challenge, but I do it because it's important to me and it matters. And you know, that's a value that I hold, and it's also important to me because that is observing my religion. To dress modestly, it's one aspect of how I observe my religion. And so yeah, I still do it. But yeah, sometimes I feel a little out of place if I'm somewhere not within my community or that I don't normally go, where people aren't really used to me. Then I'm kind of, you know, if I'm looking at a place, for example, wearing long sleeves and a maxi skirt in summer in Texas when it's 110 degrees outside, I look a little odd. Or when I wear a scarf instead of a wig, if I'm going out somewhere, then sometimes I get looks. And, you know, sometimes you just want to fly under the radar, you know, you don't want everybody looking at you. So yeah, I guess there's just that kind of going on. So yeah, definitely at times I find it challenging to dress modestly, but I do it because it's important. All right, I was asked recently, what are my favorite family movie night movies? And I promised to address that soon. So hey, I'll address it right now. The answer to that question is I like to sometimes I'll just Google like popular family movies and I'll see what comes up and then I can go from there. I switch movie services a lot. So like, for example, right now I do not have Netflix. We recently got rid of Netflix and now I have HBO Max. So I'll kind of see what's going on there in their family movies. A lot of times our family movie night movies have to do with what we're doing in school. So like this year, my son is doing a fairy tale project. So once we've read a fairy tale, I like to give him different ways of hearing the same story. So like if we read The Frog Prince, then we will watch The Princess and the Frog and compare the two, or you know, any book that we've read in school. Like we read Nim's Island and then watched the movie. That was so much fun. So anything that we've been reading that has a book, we always celebrate at the end of that book by watching the movie. We also really enjoy the Harry Potter movies, but again, we only read those after we have finished one of the books. So my kids so far have only seen up to the 3rd movie. We are currently reading the 4th book. I'm putting that one off as long as I can. Like I'm not encouraging them like, hey, let's go read Harry Potter. You know, I'm like, what do you want to read? You know, let them come to me and tell me. So just because that one does get to be a little scarier and darker there at the end. But yeah, usually the little kids are asleep by that point, so I think we're okay there. But in general, we do love a movie that is not animated. My husband prefers the non-animated movies, and I personally don't really care because I'm usually on my phone the whole time. It's more to me about being together as a family and not so much about actually watching the movie. It's just as long as we're all sitting there having fun, then that's all that really matters to me. We like to make movie night fun with popcorn or a snack tray or something like that, and just all watch the movie together, and just that we're together connecting as a family, doing an activity all together. Yeah, we're big fans of movie night. And that was a really big tangent off of how we choose our family movie night movies. But I think that did give you some ideas. So yeah, books that we've read in school, books that we've read on our own, and just like popular movies. And then I'll just kind of look and see what they're about if I think that our kids would be interested in them and that I don't think that there's any questionable material there. All right, another question that I get all the time is, because I homeschool my kids and because they stay up late, like how do I ever get time for myself? The answer to that is that I wake up early. I'll link up above to my 5:30 a.m. morning routine video, and that will help you get an idea of what I do in my mornings to kind of get a little time to myself. Now that routine is changing because I'm no longer running in the morning, and that's sad. However, I can do an updated morning routine video at some point, just when I get into a new solid routine. I don't really feel like I'm in a solid good morning routine right now. But I do, in general, wake up much earlier than my children, and that gives me time to wake up, have a quiet breakfast by myself, enjoy some time playing silly games on my phone, maybe reading a book or working on a new project, playing on the internet, hanging out with you guys in the comments, or just kind of whatever like that. But it's like my time. Speaking of projects, you guys have been asking me, what's my cross stitch project? I need to show you. I don't have a printout of like the whole thing, but I can show you kind of basically what it is here on a pattern. So it's basically a bunch of blocks of these squares, and then they'll all come together and be like one big, so there's just like a bunch of these squares. So it's gonna be kind of like a tiled look when it's done. And I think it's called, what is it called? Spanish tiles. It's called Spanish tiles. So yeah, when it's done, it's gonna look kind of like Spanish tiles, and I'm gonna turn that into a pillow when I'm done because it's a square shape. So that's gonna be pretty fun. I'm super excited to get started. I'll probably get started on that this afternoon when I'm done with this video, because the kids are all done with school and they're quietly watching TV right now, which is kind of awesome. I've also spent a lot of time playing outside today, so even the dog is tired. All right, a simple question I think a lot of you guys already know is, why are we gluten-free? We are gluten-free because my son was diagnosed with celiac. He was diagnosed with celiac a few weeks after he was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, which was right after he turned 4. And so that's been almost 3 years now that we have been a completely gluten-free home. We decided there at the beginning that we should just go completely gluten-free in our entire house. We didn't think that it was fair, especially with his age, to have some of us eating regular old gluten-y bread and donuts and cookies and things like that while he's eating something else. That just didn't feel right to us, and we were fine going ahead and doing that. Plus our other kids were even younger. I had at the time an infant, well, truly a newborn. He was 2 weeks old, and a very young toddler. So they could grow up, we knew that they could grow up just not really knowing any different as far as what we do in our house. It wasn't really a change for them. So as a family, that is the decision that we made. It was very hard for me to go gluten-free. I have always been a baker. Y'all know I love to bake, and gluten-free baking is completely different than non-gluten-free baking, just regular old gluten-y baking. So I went through like a period of mourning where I was very, very sad because I couldn't bake all the things that I loved. You know, I had a business, I was selling decorated iced cookies before all of this, and I had to stop that. I had to, you know, stop baking my old challah recipe. I had this great chocolate chip cookie recipe, you know, like that was my thing. So I am finally having fun exploring how to do gluten-free baking, and I'm having a lot of fun experimenting with these recipes and making them my own, you know, and just having a lot of fun with this gluten-free baking. It's great to be back in the baking mode of things and experimenting with what I can do, and really realizing that nothing is off limits as a gluten-free baker. I can still do anything, I just have to learn how to do it all again. Okay, head covering. What kind of hair covering do I like best? I like this kind of hair covering best, where it is a square piece of cloth and I fold it in half like a triangle, and then I wrap that around and tie it in the back. I think it's got a nice kind of look. It kind of hangs down and feels a little bit like hair, so it's a little bit more comfortable to me from that aspect. And I just think it's kind of a fun look. So I like it. So yeah, I may do another video about different hair covering styles and how I feel in each one. So if you'd be interested in seeing that, let me know. I think that would be a super fun video that I will probably do here in the future as well. What is my favorite guilty pleasure? Probably the dumb games on my phone that I play. I love a good time management game like Diner Dash or something like that. So those are super, super fun for me. I can definitely waste a lot of time doing those. I tend not to spend a lot of time scrolling on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that. I have a 10-minute per day limit on my phone for those two apps, websites on my phone. And then like I cut myself off. It's just not something that I really like spending time doing, scrolling through social media like that. I do love YouTube though. I'll spend a lot of time watching YouTube videos. Like I'll just stick a, an earbud in my ear, go about my day while I have YouTube videos going on of some of my favorites. What am I most looking forward to having in our new house? It's not what you think. I am most looking forward to having a new bathroom. I am so excited to have a new bathroom. So yeah, you thought I'd say kitchen. And you wouldn't be completely wrong. I am very much looking forward to the new kitchen because that's like such a total overhaul and it's gonna be so amazing. However, the bathroom is what I am most looking forward to because right now our bathroom is just awful. Well, right now our bathroom doesn't really exist. They've torn it apart. But before that, the shower had all these cracks in the tiles and mildew was always growing through. Like you could never get it away no matter how much bleach you put on it. The countertops in our bathroom were the exact same as the floor. The same tile on the floor was the same tile on the counter. So that just, I don't understand that. And I think it's kind of weird. And then like our bathtub was literally being held together by tape because it kept falling off. Like the sides of it kept falling off. It was bad. So I'm really looking forward to getting a nice newly tiled shower and an actual countertop and some more practical things going on in our cabinetry. Like right now, it's just like these big cabinets that open. It'd be nice to have some drawers. It'd be much easier for organization. So, and then of course, a new bathtub that doesn't fall apart when you get in it would be fantastic as well. Oh, and the bathtub had like jets, like, like those jet tubs, like jacuzzi tubs. So we turned the jets on one day to like see how fun it would be. Like while my kids were in the tub, and just nothing but mold came out of the jets. It was horrible. I was like yelling at the kids, like, get out of the tub, get in the shower. Oh, it was a big mess. And after that, I spent days like trying to, fill the tub with hot water and bleach and run the jets and trying to clean. You can't clean those. You can't clean them. So yeah, that was just pretty gross. What is your favorite crafty thing to do? Oh, y'all, this is hard. Okay, I do get asked a lot, what is my favorite crafty thing to do? Because I do have this great big craft room with so much stuff in there and I do a lot of different crafts. I would have to say that probably my absolute favorite is quilting. And it doesn't really matter what kind of quilting. It doesn't matter if I am, hand stitching a binding or English paper piecing by hand or sewing blocks on my machine or just quilting doing the actual quilting part. Like, I love it all. It's all fun. I do love to make a quilt. I am in the middle of a quilt right now. It is in storage, so that's kind of a bummer. I should have brought at least the handwork here with me, but I didn't. So my second favorite though would be cross stitching because it is so relaxing and I love that it can have such a beautiful product when it's done. As a third, I would probably say knitting. I do enjoy knitting. I just never really get to do it. It's very time consuming. It's a pretty portable project. I don't know why I don't do it more often. But I think because I don't really like to think when I do it. However, I've been promising my husband a scarf for basically our entire marriage. So at some point I will be knitting him a scarf. It's like the joke with us now. He's, when I'm like, what do you want for your birthday? And he's like, I don't know, my scarf would be pretty nice. I've literally bought yarn to make his scarf on two separate occasions. I've started it twice and I don't know, I just never get anywhere. I feel like I always buy the wrong thing or I just don't know what I'm gonna do and it just never ends up happening, but I need to make that happen at some point. He deserves a scarf. He works really hard for our family. Okay, so I think that's the last question that I'm going to do for this video. Please let me know in the comments below what other questions you have and I'll do another video soon answering all of your questions. I would love to hear what you guys would like to know and I'd love to share with you, so go for it, ask me anything. And for now, I'll call this one a close. So thank you all so much for watching. I super appreciate you. Be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. It helps me know what kinds of videos you guys enjoy. And please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Don't be a lurker. Come on, join us here. We're pretty fun. All right, thanks you guys. I super appreciate you. Be sure to drop your questions below and I will see you in my next upload.